Ah! Good morning. Well, I know how to make it a great morning. I've got something just for you. A lovely yoga sequence, short, sweet, but just the best way to make the awesome start to your day. Join me. Hi, good morning. So here we are on the mat, the best place to start your day. And let's get cracking with a lovely sequence to wake up and feel good. So I like to start fairly slow, starting sitting down, keeping cozy for now, and starting to move into the joints because fascia, our connective tissue, gets stuck and stuck together overnight, which is why we feel stiff. So let's start to open it all up. Let's start with the hips. So take your hands onto your knees, lengthen your spine, take a big breath in. Good. Now let's start to draw circles. So if you take your left shoulder to your right knee, like that, keeping the chest open. Keep your hips down as much as you can, then come forward. Then inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale. So it's like you're stirring a pot, keeping your hips on the floor as you keep the chest open, descending the chest down in front of you. Lean back, the back. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Nice. Go the other direction. Get both hips involved. Also like a gentle warm up also for your tummy. Get things going. Using the breath already. Nice. Good. Okay. So come back up to sit up nice and tall. Let's circle the wrists. You can do what I call sparkle fingers. It's a nice way to get the hands and fingers warmed up. And then start to roll the head. So take the chin down towards the chest, then left ear to left shoulder, then lean back. Take it slow, especially at the very beginning. You can make smaller circles, right ear to right shoulder, then start to go down. Again, so pay attention to what you can feel in your neck. Don't like yank yourself. Listen or feel what's going on in the neck and then be gentle and responsive. So if you want more, you can draw the shoulder down away from the ear. So if your left ear is at your left shoulder, you're drawing the right shoulder down. Maybe use the fingers. But take it easy. The neck is quite delicate and also very important. It's like a highway for the spinal column. Nice. Okay, other way. Right ear, right shoulder. Lean back. Left ear, left shoulder. Draw a nice circle. Nice. Roll the shoulders back. Good. Maybe draw circles with the arms. Getting it into all of the joints. Cool. And then from here, take your hands behind you. And we're going to do like a windscreen wiper with the knees. So we start to open up the hips. So let the knees go over side to side. Good. And you can let them flop. See how that feels? Good. Okay. And point and flex the toes. We'll get to the toes more in a moment. As you know, I love to stretch the feet. Okay, come forward. I started sitting on a blanket. You can too, but you don't need it for now. Come into tabletop shape. So I'm going to get rid of this. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Make the connection with the earth. It's a good place to start. Press thumb, index finger and pinky. Keep the toes tucked, you can. And then also you can draw circles with the hips here. Feels quite nice. Good. And then we start to flex the spine and extend the spine. So send the hips up towards the sky as the chest goes forward. Inhale. Exhale, tilt the tailbone down. Take the chin in towards the chest, maybe squeeze the knees. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Nice. And what I also like to do is draw circles the other way. So first of all, you drop the chest down, then take it towards the left, then up towards the ceiling, and then the right. So you're moving the rib cage around in a horizontal circle. And let the breath fill it up here as well. Other way. Nice. So it's just kind of moving around, getting into all the parts gently as you've woken up. Now, my favorite way to wake up first thing in the morning is to tuck all the toes underneath and then sit back on the heels. So you may need to start here, especially first thing. So I've been awake for a while, so my toes are already kind of awake, but this is the first way to really just go zing and wake you up, because the fascia on the sole of the feet, there's so many nerve endings on the sole of the foot. So when you tuck the toes underneath, it really goes boom and stretches out all of that. Starts to get the connective tissue rippling into life. Nice. So you can stay here low, or if it's okay, you can walk the hands up, eventually aiming to be able to be vertical, shoulders over hips. If that's okay, you can take the hands up towards the ceiling, interlace the fingers, biceps and ears in a line. Try not to flare the ribs. So the bottom ribs and the top of the hips are tucking in. Now if there's too much on the feet, feel free to remove that. Just to sit back on the tops of the feet. Also very nice stretch for the front of the ankle. If it's also too much here, you can come back onto your blanket. So it's first thing in the morning, you don't want to, beat yourself up yet, right? So let's take a nice seat. Reach up with the hands. Now we're going to start to open up the lungs. So what I like to do is imagine I've got a second pair of hands here, and then breathe into those bottom ribs. Good. Keep the back of the neck long so the chin is slightly tucked. Keep reaching up with the hands. Good. One more big breath. Imagine it going all the way to the back ribs. Good, exhale. Now, a really wonderful way to wake up your breath and your brain is to do what they call skull shining breath. So you can imagine that's really nice first thing in the morning. And that is a pumping of the navel and exhaling out of the nose. So you can do that hands on the knees, or you can take your hands up like this. So let's take a big inhale. So I should say, don't do this if you're on your period or pregnant or high blood pressure. Also, we don't do it after eating, but I assume you're doing this first thing in the morning before breakfast. Any place where the uterus or tummy are full, we don't practice this. So you can continue with the long, deep breathing, which is equally beneficial. Otherwise, take a big inhale. Exhale. Inhale halfway. Then we exhale out the nose, pulling the navel in. Good. Okay, hold the breath out, exhale all the way out. Then inhale, press the hands up, squeeze the knees together. Hold it into the top. Then exhale. Good. Then just take a moment to rest. Just notice how you feel after doing that. Then we can start to get moving. So remove your blanket if you had it. And let's meet in a bent knee position, folding forward. So take the crown of the head down towards the floor, grab opposite elbows, and start to stretch out one leg at a time. Get into the lower back area here around the hips can get quite tight, and also the hamstrings overnight. So straighten one leg at a time, because it can be quite hard to straighten both hamstrings, especially first thing. So let's make it simpler, one at a time. Good. Then find a halfway lift. So pull your back muscles back as you send your sternum, the front of your chest, forward. And your butt goes back as well. shoulder blades back, and shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Okay, so I often like to start in a low lunge, 90 degrees and 90 degrees. So we're looking for the front foot pressing to the floor and pulling back, hips squaring. Drop the tailbone, start to get into the front of the hips, then take the arms up. Again, don't flare, but let the ribs and the bottom, the top of the hips come towards each other. Nice, so the knee that's bent, so I've got my left knee bent, so I'm going to grab my left wrist using my right hand. Then as I inhale, press into the right foot, grow tall. Then as I exhale, I pull gently with the right hand to lengthen the left side of the body. Take another breath in. Exhale. Inhale, come back up. And then let's swap it over. So take your right knee back and take the left foot forward. Good, so same thing. I was going to take my arms up. I'm going to square my hips first. Make sure I've got strong foundation. Left heel presses down. Take the sternum up, fingers up. Tailbone drops to lengthen the right side of the hip. And then we grab the right wrist and then go up, inhale. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen by pressing down into the front foot. Then exhale. Leaning over towards the left gently. So we're pulling from the knee all the way across the outside of the hip. And then inhale one more time. Spread those side ribs. Exhale. Good. Take your foot back. Now we'll move through downward facing dog to get to the top of the mat. Press into the fingers. Lift the knees. Look forward. Exhale. Bend the knees. Take the belly back towards the thighs. Get the head a nice shake here. Good. You're getting into all the parts. Yeah, you can straighten one leg at a time. Good. Then lift the heels. Let's take a walk gently. Keep the knees bent. All the way to the front. Press the feet down into the floor. Take the arms all the way up. Nice. When we get here, again, press the feet down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let's fold forward. Now we start to move in through sun salutations, which is a traditional way of greeting the day. So inhale, look forward. Hello, sunshine. Exhale, take the hands down, step it back, plank. Stay as long as you like in this. So I like to build some heat using a plank first thing in the morning. But, you know, might not want too much. You can take your knees down. Make sure your tailbone is dropping so that the top of the hips and the bottom of the ribs come towards each other. So for here, we start to lower down. Send the heart forward. Keep the tailbone dropping. Shoulders back, elbows back. Lower all the way to the floor. Good. Press your pubic bone in the front of the pelvis into the floor. Hands beside your ribs. Toes down. Inhale, chest forward. Cobra. Make sure the neck is long. Shoulders are back. Exhale. Bend the knees. Tuck the toes underneath. Press the fingers. Downward facing dog. Now 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Make sure you're pressing thumb, index finger and pinky all the way into the knuckles. The ears and the biceps are in a line. The shoulders are rolling away from each other. Bend the knees as much as you need, especially first thing in the morning. Think about butt going high. Then first send the butt high, but then tuck your ribs in. So you're not flaring out in the front of the ribs either. Then take a big inhale. Exhale. Okay. We step the feet forward. One at a time. Find halfway lift. Exhale. Press the feet, arms all the way up. Good morning. Okay, 2 more times. Press the feet, arms up. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins if you like. Exhale, step it back, plank. Strong plank, inner thighs towards each other, heels away. Micro bend the elbows, keep looking forward. Knees up or down. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Long neck. Use this to expand the lungs even more. Get more breath into your body. Exhale, bend the knees. Downward facing dog. Good, 3 breaths. Lengthening your neck, lengthening your spine. Filling the lungs up with breath. Exhale. Good, look forward, bend the knees, step forward, 1 step at a time. Halfway lift. Exhale. Press the feet, arms all the way up. Good, last one. Arms up, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, fold. Release the head, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Hold it here. Be strong. Know how strong you are. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose. Send your heels back. Lift your inner thighs. Send the heart forward. Knees up or down. So your choice may be the third one. You could keep the knees lifted if that's in your practice. Then if you are lifted, you can roll across the toes. Make it into an up dog. So feet press, hands press, shoulders back, pubic bone forward, heart forward. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the knees, tug the toes, take it back. Downward facing dog. And then big breaths here. Notice how your heart is already beating, getting going. It's really great to get everything flowing and moving first thing in the morning. Good, okay. So again, come high onto the toes, lift the heels and the hips. Look forward toward your hands so the belly is lifting. Then we take a walk all the way to the front of the mat. Exhale. Good, press the heels, take the arms all the way up. Good. So we've woken up, flexed and extended the spine. Now let's move in the sideways plane. So this is also one of my favorite exercises to do first thing in the morning. It's very heating, opens up the lungs, warms up digestion. So take your feet hip width apart. You can take your fist at your navel and see that the outside edges of the fist are on the inside edges of your feet. We want the second toe to line up forward. Otherwise, the outside edges of your feet sort of to the short end of the mat or the long end, but the outside edge. Anyway, interlace your fingers, take them up towards the sky. Now, we want to stack things. So we don't want our butt sticking out and our ribs going out all over the place. We want to wrap everything in. So drop your tail. Not too much, right? But you want a neutral spine. The pelvis should be balanced. Same thing with the rib cage. Then hands go up, aligned with the ears. So take an inhale, press up towards the ceiling. Then exhale, press into your left foot, go down towards the right. So watch that you're not curving with the spine, leaning forward and back. Want to stay in a straight line. Inhale, press into the right heel, come back up, slow as you can. Get tall in the middle, exhale down. Keep pressing in the heel of the hand away from the heel of the foot. Press both outside edges of the feet into the floor. Inhale, come back up. Get tall at the top, exhale down. Good. Lengthening out the left hip. Inhale up. Exhale. Good. Press, 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 press. Slowly, powerfully until you come up. Then one more time each side. Exhale. Press. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. Okay, inhale. Press the hands open. Give yourself a nice jiggle. Good. Okay, enough of that. Take your feet again, hip width apart. If you have a block, you can even do it with a block to get your inner thighs warmed up, but it's not absolutely necessary. Again, we want our second toes to line up. So take your feet like that. Now, please take the arms up in the head, above your head, palms facing in. right? That does the external rotation of the shoulder. Okay, from here, again, our butt's not sticking out. Bottom ribs, top hips. It's a really good guide and gets you to switch on the tummy. So take an inhale here. Then as you exhale, bend the knees. Good. Squeeze your block if you have it. If you don't have it, think about heels going down and away from each other. Maybe lift the toes. Make sure you're on the heels. Keep reaching with the fingertips forward. Inhale. Exhale. Take one more breath. Good. Bend the knees, maybe more. Okay, get rid of your block. From here, let's step. So hover the right foot, step onto the left foot, and step it back. Find a high lunge. So the hips are still square, we're on the ball of the back foot. Kick that back heel away so your sternum goes up. Take a big breath here. Then exhale. Take the hands to the hips. Grab these blocks actually. So these are really helpful actually for where we're going, if you do have them. You could also use, one time I used 2 milk cartons for this, so it doesn't really matter what it is. But what we want, pull your left hip back, start to press into the ball of the left foot, keep the chest open. Now we're going to come parallel with the floor. You can stay here, so that you might need to micro bend the front knee. Otherwise, you can straighten as much as okay that hamstring. Your hands can come down to blocks. Now, make sure the left hip isn't going forward. Pull that back. From here, your 2 hips are so stable that your heart goes forward. Good. So you can be on the ball of the back foot. It's also an option to have your heel on the floor. I quite like the ball of the back foot because it helps courage you have the straight hips. But I feel like you can take the foot out and to the side, 45 degrees in. So left hip then can go back again. Inhale here. If you don't need the blocks, you can take the hand to the floor. Okay, so from here, we're going to keep the left hand down. So if you're using a block, you can keep on a block. Otherwise, you can take the hand onto the ankle. I'm going to step my foot a little bit wider. So if you're on the ball of the foot, take the foot down. If you were stepping in for this, for the pyramid pose, then you can step the heel back. So take your left hand to your ankle or your shin, or your block, of course. Then from here, as if you're drawing an arrow, take the right hand and circle it up towards the sky. Now, press down into your back heel. Don't collapse down into your block if you're using it. Rise up. So pull your 2 shoulder blades together. Use the strength of your waist to lengthen the crown of the head this way and the pelvis that way. Lift both kneecaps. So you're pressing down to the ball of the foot, lifting up the quad muscles here, driving the heel down. Take a big inhale. So you're opening up this right lung so much, but also the left lung is so open. So breathe in, then exhale. Pull the right hip back even more if you can. Exhale, circle the hands down towards the floor. Good, now step the left foot back. Let's find downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Exhale. Okay, lift the heels. Let's walk all the way to the front of the mat. If you've got a block, bend your knees. Otherwise, I'll show without the block this time. Bend the knees. So make sure your knees aren't collapsing in. You want to maintain a gap, but then imagine you've got something to squeeze just a little bit. So you reach the fingers forward, reaching through the ring fingers. Take an inhale. Exhale, sit down, as if you're sucking the hip bones back and into the hip sockets. Good. Take another inhale. Exhale. Okay, press into the right foot, cinch your waist. Over the left foot. Yes. Step it back. High lunge. Okay, readjustment. Nice. So, hips are square. Front knee is bent. Now, kicking the back heel back, you send the heart forward and up. Again, the lungs have the opportunity to become so buoyant. Take a big breath in. Exhale. Good again. Nice. So, hands to the hips. start to straighten your front leg, pulling the hip back. Now here, you can step your heel in, or you can stay on the ball of it, your choice. But are pulling the hip, the right hip back, squaring. So you can see what's happening here. The left hip's coming forward. So we're in a nice line, parallel with the short end of the mat. From here, you can stay with your hands on your hips up here. And press into the ball of the right foot, press into the right heel. Straighten as much as you can. Wake up that hamstring. Good. You can use blocks, or milk cartons, or books, or something else that your imagination can come up with. From here, whether your hands are on your hips or not, send the heart forward. Good. One more breath. Okay, so put your heel down if it's lifted. Otherwise, line it up. So we want the heel and the arch, or the heel and the heel to line up. So it's not out like this. It's not out like this. Okay, so like that. Then hand comes to ankle or shin. Then take your left hand, draw the arrow. Open it up towards the sky. Then straight away, the quad muscles switch on. The hand reaches. So you saw my back on the other side. The shoulder blades wrapping towards each other. My shoulders aren't up at my ears. They're descending, so the neck is lengthening. Again, that super highway of the neck. Reaching from the center of the sacrum, the pelvis, the base of the spine, all the way to the top of the spine. So we're making a long line here. And then we're kind of rotating around it. So lean back with your left shoulder. Press down with the left outer heel. Then inhale. Good. So you're filling up this left lung with breath, but also not forgetting about the right one. So we're not collapsing down here. Both sides of the waist are long. Take a big breath in. Exhale. Circle hands to the floor. Good. Nice. So from here, let's open up the front of the hips. Take your right leg up towards the sky. Extend it away from you. So you're pressing into the fingers, pressing in the right foot way up. Then I like to bend the knee and open up. So ordinarily, I'd be like, keep your hips nice and square, but please, on this, you can open up as much as you like. Because we're only doing it for a second, and we're looking for a stretch. I show you here. Across this front of the hip flexor. So you're opening up as much as you can. Take the kneecap towards the ceiling. Good. So we're doing right side. Then exhale, round it forward. Step the foot forward. Gonna find runner's lunge. So runner's lunge, because it's like you're about to take off, right? So you need to be surging forward with the heart, but the hips are pulling back. So the right hip rather is pulling back. Drive the right heel into the floor. Take an inhale. Good, exhale. Okay, from here, walk your right foot to the right. Hands are on the inside. Now take your knee and then rock yourself forward. Do the heels as wide as the mat, toes off. And then start to descend your tailbone as we come down into Malasana. Cool. So if you're up here, and this is not very comfortable, simply take a blanket, please, roll it up and place it underneath your heels. It makes it a little bit easier to get the lift so that your tailbone can descend. Wherever you are, whether you've got a blanket or not, your elbows are on the inside of the knees and then you use those to press back. This is the added benefit of engaging your shoulder blades so your chest is open and you lean back so the spine is so long. Good, so I like to think about, I can't remember where I read it or if I made it up, but wherever it is, imagine there's a tree behind you, like the Bodhi tree that the Buddha was sitting under when he became enlightened. And the tree is behind you and you're leaning back against it. So press the heels down, take an inhale. Exhale. Hands to the floor. Remove your blanket if you used it. Step it back, downward facing dog. Good, take a breath here. So we do the same thing, the other side. Left knee comes up. So first, stretch through the toe, lengthen by pressing into the hands. Then as you exhale, you can open the hip up, open the knee up, maybe draw a circle with the ankles. Good, big breath. Exhale, knee towards the nose, rock it forward, step forward. Then find your runner's lunge on this side. So your left heel is pressing down, your left hip is pressing down, and then you're going forward and past it with the chest. Nice. So take an inhale, back inner thighs lifting. Exhale, rock it forward. Find your Malasana. Good. Step it back, downward facing dog. Lovely. Okay, so from here, lift the heels high, lift the hips high. Let's take a walk forward. When you get there, press into the feet. Let's come up to stand. So on the way up, hook your thumbs. Drive the heels down. Send the hips forward. So you're lengthening out the lower back. Heels down, hips forward, sternum up, biceps and ears in a line as the thumbs are hooking. Good. Then, so we're not going back, we're going up. Send the sternum up, 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 up. Inhale. Reach with the hands. Maybe the biceps can come behind the ears, but the head doesn't drop back, okay? Lift sternum up, big inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, fold. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Release the neck. Soften the shoulders, soften the elbows. Good. Look forward, inhale, release the hands, heels down, hips forward, sternum up, breathe in. Get long, exhale, bend the knees, fold. Same thing, interlace the fingers. Good, last time. Heels down, look forward, hips forward, sternum up, biceps and ears in the line. Inhale. Good, exhale, bend the knees, fold. Nice. Good job, okay. Look forward, inhale. Very invigorating that. Step it back to plank. So make sure your hands are still strong, your inner thighs are still strong, outer thighs are pushing away from each other. Good, now, instead of a vinyasa, let's puff up the upper back, then we're gonna round. So upper back rounds, middle back rounds, hips all the way back till we come back until downward facing dog. Take an exhale. Good. Heels lift, inhale. Hips lift, up, lower back, middle back, upper back. Ripple it forward into plank. Inhale. Stay for an exhale. Inhale, last time. Puff up the shoulders, puff up the upper back. Good, all the way back. Downward facing dog. Good, breathe in. Exhale, maybe with a sigh if you like. Release the head. Good, take the knees to the floor. Sweet. Okay, last thing, I'm gonna open up the chest even more. When we stimulate the front side of the body, it really is very invigorating, which is a great way to start your day. Don't need no coffee around here. So grab your block, take it between your heels. If you have a block. If you don't have a block, don't worry about it too much. Basically, I want you to think about pressing the feet, the top of the feet down into the floor. Okay, so yeah, press the knees down. So it's kind of like what we just did standing. Instead of heels, knees. Knees down, hips forward, hands beneath, at your lower back. Rolling inner thighs towards each other. Send the sternum up, not back. So inhale. Even the elbows come towards each other. If you have a block, squeeze it. Good, big breath in. Exhale, knees together. Again, lift the sternum. Exhale. One more. Fill up the lungs so much, and then exhale. Bend the knees, take the chin back towards the chest. Good. Take your hips back. Enjoy the aftertaste of that. Good. So let's finish off with a short breath practice, just to get yourself completely harmoniously balanced. So different ways to sit. You can stay on your knees and take a block or something else between, so that you can sit on that between your heels. Or I quite like to sit with the heels stacked in front of each other. Also sitting on the block, you can sit on a cushion or a blanket, or you can just sit cross-legged, whatever feels okay for you. And then you're going to use the right hand to block off the two nostrils. So, faff, faff, faff. Get your faffing out of the way. Find the lovely long spine. So all of these different ways of sitting, basically ways of constructing it so that your spine can lift up out of the pelvis, two sit bones grounding down. Take your thumb to close your right nostril, and then your ring finger to close your left side of the nose. So first of all, we block the right nostril and we inhale through the left for 4. Block the left nostril, exhale through the right for 8. Hold it there, then inhale right for 4. Block off the right, exhale the left for 8. Good, okay, that's 1. Inhale left. Close off the left, exhale right. Exhale, then inhale right. Close off right, exhale left. One more time, inhale left. For 4, exhale right for 8. Inhale right. Exhale left for 8. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right for 4. Exhale left. Last one. Inhale the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Good. Release the nostrils, release the hands, then breathe normally. Just notice how the breath moves around your body, how you feel now, maybe awake, maybe focused, maybe on the way to either of those things. At least not quite asleep anymore. So we finish the practice with a short lie down, which seems illogical first thing in the morning, but actually it's a really beautiful way to finally ground and also to find any last pieces of tension and to dissolve them. So get your blanket if you need. Get cozy. Take your feet as wide as the mat, palms facing up. Good. Now take a big inhale from the soles of the feet, through the hips, all the way to the crown of the head. All the way up, maybe inhale some more, sip it in. A little bit more. Then exhale with a sigh. Let your body sink into the floor. At the bottom of the exhale, hold it out. All the way out. Hold it for a second. And inhale. Good, exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale with a sigh. And as you do so, let everything sink into the floor. Let all the places, in particular the denser bones, like the heels, the pelvis, the skull, let them sink back into the mat. And as the bones become heavy, let all the other tissues drip off the bone structure. So use your attention now and scan the body. Through the feet, the legs, the knees, the thighs, the hips, the glutes. And we're looking for spots that are still tense. the waist, the back of the body, lower back, middle back, upper back, shoulders, arms, elbows, lower arms, wrists, hands, chest, neck, back of the head, back of the shoulders, the face, the jaw, the eyebrows, the eye sockets, the eyeballs, the tongue. Just see if there are any spots that have any residual tension, and then let your breath go there and soften that. Mentally tell yourself to soften. So you make space in your body and your mind to be the most lovely version of yourself all day long. We start to mean to go on. You let your next breath be deeper. Exhale. And your fingers and toes. Have a nice stretch. Oh, nice. Take the knees in towards the chest. Give them a squeeze. Nice. Find any other movements that you'd like to make. Then roll over to the side. Use the hands and come up to sit. So take your hands to your sternum and then lift up to it. So you're nice and proud in the chest. Then make an intention for how you'd like to be. Would you like to be kind, centered, focused? Start the day from a good starting point so you can maintain that all the way into the evening. So take a breath to seal it. Exhale. Om Shanti. Have a lovely day.